Hello everybody, welcome. A little follow-up on the About Breathing mini-series. So I've talked about all different aspects of what this whole breathing practice is about for me, my take on things, why we might want to do it, why it might be helpful, and all the things that we are kind of addressing with breathing practices. And I already said that I would probably go and share a couple of extra videos and guide you through one or two of the actual exercises that I enjoy and that I find really helpful. So here I am doing that. Today I'm going to share a breathing meditation in combination with a cooling breath. So this is definitely a more quiet practice, kind of with the intention of calming the mind and relieving some of the holding and the stress in the body, quietening down, slowing down. So you want to make sure that you are sitting comfortably. That could be on a chair. I'm sitting on the floor right now on some cushions, but it could be sitting on the sofa, leaning back against somewhere, or well, ultimately you could also do this lying down. No problem at all. So the breathing meditation side of it basically involves not having to do anything at all as such. We observe the breath. So we're not manipulating the breathing in any way. We're breathing a neutral inhale, neutral exhale, but we keep observing, keep watching it. Like there is nothing more interesting and fascinating in the world right now, and we really watch it super closely and try to stay with the breath. And yes, while we're doing that, it could be that our thoughts are wandering off and we get distracted by something, and that is okay. It's no problem. In fact, if you notice, then great. It means you can come back to the breath. So in that way, the breath will become your anchor for your meditation practice. You're very welcome to move in between this practice as well at any time, to change position if you're getting uncomfortable. And you can do this for any duration. You can do this for 3 minutes. You can do it for half an hour. That's all up to you. And then there is this cooling breath element to it that I really enjoy because it sort of breaks things up a little bit. And even though it's sort of designed for cooling the body, I'm actually finding it's waking up my breath a little bit. It helps me bring my attention to the breathing, which is the thing that I'm trying to keep focused on. Personally, I'm finding it's sort of cooling my mind somehow. You know, that's my personal observation. It might have a completely different effect on you. But I'm enjoying this combination, so I share it quite a bit. People seem to go on with it quite well, so I'm sharing it here today. The cooling breath part of it, there's a couple of options with that. One is that we curl the tongue a little bit, like this, and we stick it out. And then we pull the air in over the tongue, so the cooler and drier air on the inhale brushes over the tongue. And then the exhale is through the nose again, the warmer, moister air through the nose. And we'll do that, I tend to do it like 5 or 6 times maybe, so there's a little block. And then I go into observing the breath with breathing normally, no manipulation. And I do that for, could be a minute, could be for 2 minutes, could be for 5 minutes. A sort of set an interval. What you could do is you could, there's these apps that you can use for timing things. You could set a set duration if you wanted to. And so certain intervals you pick. It could also be like, okay, I feel like I could do another block of the cooling breaths. You go and do another 5 or 6 rounds of that, and you go back to observing the breath. At some point, after a certain interval, you maybe do another block of cooling breaths, 5, 6 rounds, go back to observing the breath. And so ultimately you could repeat that as many times as you want. I would tend to do at least sort of 3 rounds of it. And that makes a nice 10-minute short practice. But that would probably be, for me, my felt minimum to kind of get to feel something as an effect from this. And it might mean, or might be that it doesn't take as long for you at all, or that you want to sit for longer. So why don't I guide us through a couple of rounds of this? So if you want to join me, feel free. Make sure you're sitting really comfortably, and remember you can change that position anytime, and you can move as well. You can have your eyes open or your eyes closed, whatever makes you feel most comfortable, and you can change your mind about that halfway through as well. And so when you're ready, join me with the first block of the cooling breaths. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that there was 2 options of doing that. I completely forgot the second option. The second option is that we hiss the air in through the teeth, like this. So that way the cooler, dry air will still also brush over the tongue, but that might be more comfortable, basically, as some people find that curling of the tongue a little trickier. So that's another option. The exhale again will be through the nose. Sorry. So pick your option. Maybe go ahead and try both. See which you might find more comfortable. So I'll give you a couple of moments to do that. Try one way. And try the other way. Which version do you want to begin with? What do you think you'll find more comfortable? And again, that's another thing that you could change your mind about halfway through and try the other one, no problem. So when you're ready this time, I'll actually go and get started. You can join me when you're ready. So we will do 5 or 6 of the cooling breaths. Making this round the last one. And then we continue breathing normally without any manipulation of the breath. And observe the breath. Observe every inhale. Observe every exhale. Notice the movement of the breath through your body, into the lungs and out. The expansion that you might notice in the body. The pace of your breathing, the rhythm of your breathing. Notice everything there is to notice about your breath. And keep observing. If you find your thoughts wandering off at any point, don't worry. When you notice, bring your thoughts back. Bring your attention back to the breath. Again and again and again, every time. And we can repeat another block of our cooling breaths. When you're ready, join me Making this one the last round here of the cooling breath. And then go back to observing the breath. Every inhale and every exhale. And also notice the spaces in between. That moment at the top of the inhale where we hover for this brief moment in suspension. And then after the exhale at the bottom of the out breath, that brief moment of emptiness. So you're observing your inhale, the pause, the exhale, and the pause. Keep coming back to the breath. For the purpose of this sharing here, we'll end the practice, and of course you could repeat any number of rounds of this. To complete the practice, let's harmonize. We take a deep breath in and float the arms out to the sides and up. And with the exhale, palms facing down towards the earth, coming down through the middle. Let's repeat that twice more. Last one. On the way down this time, let's place the hands on top of each other and then we let them rest on the lower abdomen for a moment. And then allow a bit of movement to come back into the body, have a little stretch, wiggle, shake it off, whatever might feel nice here. So this was one of the practices. It's also one of the practices that we do from time to time in the morning breathing club that's happening live on Zoom 3 times a week, every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday morning for 30 minutes. It's a monthly membership thing, but the first 2 weeks are free, so you can actually join, try it out, no commitment at all. You can cancel it at any time. And then it's only €22 a month. So it's not a lot. I'll post the link below. Those who are in the membership will also get a recording of every single session, including the entire archive of everything we've done so far, and there's over 100 or so videos available now of all of the different practices that we've done so far. So that's all part of the membership. You could also drop in for €5 a pop. That's also an option, but then you don't get all of that archive. That's only for the membership. Anyway, I'll post the details below this, and on my YouTube channel I've shared a few more practices already anyway, but I will come online again in a few days, or maybe next week, we'll see, I think probably next week, and share at least one more, if not a couple more guided practices. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week and take care of yourselves. Thank you.